Senator Grassley, Ranking Member Feinstein, Senator Cruz, and other members of the committee that are here. I wanted to add another line from the Supreme Court's opinion yesterday, in which the court, by an 8-0 vote, said the following: speech may not be banned on the ground that it expresses ideas that offend. That is the law. That is what the First Amendment teaches us. That was the basis of yesterday's ruling. It has been the basis, phrased differently through the years, but phrased consistently through the years. That has been the basis for the protection of First Amendment rights. What brings us here today is that time and again speech is being effectively banned on campuses because the speaker has ideas that offend. That's the problem. It does not arise in the main because university administrations are seeking to suppress speech. It arises more often than not because students find it intolerable to have certain speakers appear and certain ideas expressed with which they disagree and which they find offensive or even outrageous. And so we have a record before this committee from the testimony of the people who have preceded me and from what has occurred throughout America of speakers being silenced when they say or are expected to say unpopular or disagreeable things. Ray Kelly, the distinguished former police commissioner of New York, shouted down at Brown University. The mayor of Jerusalem shouted down at San Francisco State. I could go on with those examples. There are situations of invitations being withdrawn for fear of offending students. Christine Lagarde, the first woman ever to head the International Monetary Fund, canceled for fear of student disapproval and the like. We have speakers who have withdrawn because it has been made very clear to them that they would be unable to proceed with their speeches. Condoleezza Rice, for example. And we have a situation in which, again and again, speakers have been muted on campuses by saying that they could appear, but only appear if they appeared on panels and not spoke individually. So this is a real ongoing problem. It is not a new problem of this month or even this year, but it is something which has gotten significantly worse and more threatening as time has gone on, and as other speakers have pointed out, as the polarity in our country has become more obvious. The polarity on campuses has been the same. I have to say that I recall a time many years ago when I was in college in which the real problem was that there was no speech. That was the cool generation, so-called, in which university administrations really came down hard. If anyone said anything which seemed to offend the administration. That's not our problem today. We have, I have to say it, a problem with students and supine administrations. We have a problem in that too many people are unwilling to listen to ideas with which they disagree. And that is a problem which has only a long-term solution, but it is one I suggest to you that we should really start to address now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abrams, and thank you to each of the witnesses for your important and powerful testimony.